This is Sybert signing into Red Alert Remastered on the map Super Ore Crater Team Deathmatch. So this is a 4v4 8-player map, and as you can see the middle of it, there is a ton of cash. Now this is a north versus south situation, so we don't have any weird spawns. Fortunately, everything worked out for these players. And for those of you who don't know, sometimes in the other earlier Command & Conquer games like Red Alert 2, or even here, the spawns can be a little hectic, and so sometimes you'll have situations where in like a 2v2, people are cross-map from their ally. Little engineer trying to sneak on by as the green. This is Guesty, going to be playing that green color, and I believe playing allies as the yellow. This is Kabs, also playing allies as the cyan. This is Lightsign, playing allies. And our fourth player in team number 1 playing, as you can see, Soviets. Very nice. This is the purple, Peter Lucas. Meanwhile, on the south side, playing allies as the red, it's M.I.E.L, playing as the orange allies. Where? What is the... this is Cloud9. I don't know why his refinery is so late. That is a super late refinery. As the blue, this is Photonics, and as the pink, this is our last Soviet player, 2 of 2. This is AnArChIsT. All right, so pink and purple are only 2 Soviet players. Everyone else actually kind of lines up color-wise, other than red and green, which are opposites. I guess you could have done red and orange, and then I guess yellow and green would have been the closest there. But yeah, that actually lines up pretty nicely. Anyways, 2 Soviet players, a second MCV coming out from AnArChIsT, already moving to the middle of the map, going to be establishing a fresh base. I assume it's going to be mostly refineries, but he could drop a war factory or something else there as well. By the way, we saw in the middle of the map all of these units, these neutral units, which will attack you if you get close. Some riflemen, it looks like a dog, helicopter, which I assume doesn't do anything, mammoth tank, and then 4 light tanks as well. Although, I don't know who will actually, if they'll intentionally run in there and try and kill all that stuff, or if they'll just try and run around it and avoid it all. Could be a better idea to just avoid all of that stuff in the middle. We shall see. Tanks, a couple of heavy tanks heading up from Peter Lucas. They were down in the south, maybe engaging with some forces of AnArChIsT. Real quick, let's take a look. Okay, so our team in the south, pretty good job of scouting. Ooh, our team in the north, considerably worse job of scouting. They have spotted this expansion into the middle by AnArChIsT, but overall, they've got a huge dead zone here on the left side of the map. Obviously, there's no way for our team in the south to know that there is that giant dead zone. But if there is, ooh, maybe even some naval forces coming out. But if there is an attack here on the left side of the map, that could be a real blind side to our team in the north. They might have trouble responding to it. Something we don't really see in 1v1s. Gap generator coming up here for Kabs, and already teching up, getting some additional production as well. And as you can see, yeah, this is a complete dead zone for our team in the south. We'll see if anyone else goes for those kind of, not unique, but those unusual tech structures that we don't normally see. Cloud9, what is going on with this guy? No additional harvesters, 1 war factory, 1 refinery, as everyone else is just climbing the ranks in terms of number of harvesters, in terms of number of production facilities, or in Kab's case, you know, lots of harvesters, some production facilities, but lots of tech as well. Keeping the eyes hidden, going for those medium tanks as an allied player. And I don't think nothing has come out of this red subpen just yet, or I guess it's actually a naval yard, not a subpen, but we'll see if anything really naval happens in this game. We do have a transport coming out from Kabs on the left side, another gap generator from him as well in the north. Service depot is around also, so the potential of an additional MCV for Kabs. Looks like a second MCV up and running for Lightsign, ready to expand to the middle of the map over the south. Lightsign and Photonics going to be engaging one of the neutral tanks drawn out of the middle of the map, and it looks like Photonics going to absolutely win this engagement. His medium tanks overwhelming the small number of light tanks, but heavies are coming in here for Peter Lucas. Peter Lucas is going to come to the defense of Lightsign and potentially just push Photonics all the way back down to the south. Although the medium tank's starting to jump on the heavy, going to be able to score a couple of wins here with these tank deaths. Our team in the south going to be able to claim maybe some small victories, but I don't think Photonics is going to have the strength to push all the way up into the north. No, as Kabs comes in with reinforcements, his own medium tanks pushing away the mediums of Photonics. Expansion out here on the left, although this might be a little... No, that is probably an actual MCV there for Lightsign. He's spread himself out quite well. Lightsign and Peter Lucas once again joining some forces. Couple of Tesla coils getting deployed here for AnArChIsT, trying to protect his harvesters, but not quite working out there. Photonics moving out once again. He's going to be able to surround these light tanks. Will he actually be able to get the kills? Being able to eliminate some of them. He's still got good tank numbers. And here come the neutral tanks to start working away at the units of Photonics. He's going to have some real trouble if he just gets eaten up by these neutral tanks, but no, he cleans them up quite nicely, and it looks like that tank really got decapitated. A little bit of a glitch there. Unfortunately, that stuff, I guess, will just never get fixed. It's bobbing around, moving around. I assume it'll despawn in just a minute there, and now maybe it'll just be stuck there forever. Unfortunately, once again, EA abandoning Command & Conquer games without much post-release support, but fortunately, they did at least some post-release support, and that's about as all we can really ask for from a company like EA. Peter Lucas losing a big chunk of his tanks, and Photonics just going to keep on pushing. Meanwhile, in the south, it looks like Lightsign basically abandoning his own defense and going on the offense instead, trying to dive. A bunch of MiGs coming in here. V2s as well, going to try and put the damage out. There's going to be the tech center targeted down. Photonics losing that tech center. At the same time, he's continuing to push forward in the north. Going to be able to target down a couple of war factories. I don't even know what was about to spawn in there. It just got deleted as it got added into the game. Photonics going to get overwhelmed in the north, but in the south, it looks like AnArChIsT gonna finally be able to overcome the forces of Lightsign and defend Photonics from that aggression. Once again, another war factory getting targeted down. Photonics trying to shut down the production of Lightsign, trying to stop Lightsign from being able to build more MCVs. Keep in mind, there is an MCV over to the left, so even if these two get eliminated, Lightsign is still not out of it. He can rebuild those war factories. He can stay in this game. He can keep up his production. More and more pillboxes getting deployed here for Lightsign. Nearly an impenetrable defense of machine gun fire for Lightsign. Holds off the tanks. AnArChIsT on the other side. V2s mixed in here. Can you even believe it? We get to see V2s in a match. A Soviet player surviving past the first couple of minutes. Going to be jumping on the heavy tanks of Peter Lucas. There goes the MiGs. Faster than you can even see. They hit the MCV and head on out of there. The V2s getting targeted down by Lightsign. And it looks like Kabs and Peter Lucas going to be making up the other parts of the defense on the left side. It's mass ore trucks coming out from Guesty. And Guesty, who we haven't talked much about at all, he and M.I.E.L, it looks like, are just hanging out. Oh, they've been having some naval battles over on the left side. So close to the edge of the map, you can barely even see it. It looks like gunboats or destroyers heading down to the south, and it looks like M.I.E.L might be losing the naval battle, which means he may also be losing the entire engagement there on the left side. More MiGs running their bombing runs, and they actually clean up Peter Lucas's MCV. I think he's got another MCV over on the right side of the map, but we'll see. More tanks from Lightsign getting eliminated. Photonics going toe-to-toe with Lightsign again and again and again. Refineries getting targeted down. M.I.E.L is going to be getting pushed away from the coastline. But can Kabs do any more than just attack with naval forces? This could open up a real opportunity for our team in the north to attack on the left side of the map, cut down M.I.E.L, maybe cut down Cloud9 as well, and force everyone on the right side to go on the defensive on the left side. MiGs coming in for a pass against this refinery. They're too fast for those tanks to point their guns up to the sky and shoot them. 2 service depots. He wants to be able to repair absolutely everything here. As his MCV gets targeted down, his war factory might be the next thing to go down as Guesty steps forward with the help of Kabs and is maybe able to cut the head off of M.I.E.L and completely eliminate him from the game. functionally. If he loses this war factory, I think that will be lights out for M.I.E.L. He'll have no MCV, no production left over. I don't think he managed to sneak anything out onto the map. And look at this base crawl coming out here from guesty all the way down the left side of the map. Advanced power plants, refineries, making cash along the way. Finally, Cloud9 showing up. The defense will be good enough, and a barracks does survive. M.I.E.L can get something out into this game. He can make something happen. I'm not sure what it's going to be. More MiGs coming forward from AnArChIsT. He's going for possibly someone's MCV, maybe a war factory. Yeah, he's going for Peter Lucas's MCV. Giant strike of MiGs there. And it looks like a nuke firing off somewhere. Unfortunately, we don't get very good cues on exactly what that is. Oh, there's a camo pillbox mixed in there as well. It did deceive me for a moment. I did not actually see it when I was first scrolling through the middle of the map. guesty putting the pressure on. A whole bunch of medium tanks here to try and shut down M.I.E.L, shut down Cloud9 at the same time. No, M.I.E.L managed to sneak an MCV out. I'm not actually sure how he did that. I did not see him sneak that guy out, and it looks like he will survive for at least a moment longer. He does have $5 grand in the bank, so he can try and get something back together. Meanwhile, on the right side of the map, AnArChIsT pushing up more V2s, more heavy tanks heading up there. A whole bunch of MiGs going for the kill of this base creep, trying to slow down the base creep, although it looks like the base defense is going to be preserving this build radius for a couple of moments. Cloud9, the defense, unwilling to give up, as a war factory did get deployed by M.I.E.L. He's got a couple of light tanks out here, and maybe even, oh, an AA turret, something I think we've literally never seen in a 1v1 on this channel. Cloud9 falling to the forces of guesty, but guesty similarly nearly out of steam. He's got a little bit of a stronghold. He's got a little bit of a foothold there in that southern position. The naval forces of kabs have rounded the corner, and it looks like they're heading for Photonics. They are heading for our other players in the south. This middle of the map starting to get harvested away. The nuke firing off somewhere, as I think we just saw it leave the map. And it looks like Peter Lucas has managed some kind of a defense, but he doesn't have very many buildings left. He's got an MCV, he's got a power plant and a war factory, but not much left on the right side of the map. He's going to have to pull back somewhere to the middle of the map and hope to make his stronghold there. He can at least keep his MCV alive. And it looks like carpet bombing possibly coming in here. And Tesla coil fires off. I'm not actually sure. I guess that's actually AnArChIST's carpet bombing there. I'm so unfamiliar with the support powers because it's been so long since we actually saw any of that stuff really getting utilized. Gunboats trying to go toe-to-toe with lightsign tanks. Meanwhile, in the south, these destroyers and gunboats going at it with each other. Naval Yard's going to be getting eliminated, but no, there are enough forces here from Photonics and even a little bit from AnArChIsT that they're able to hold off the naval forces of kabs. And it's unfortunate that you can't hide this bottom bar. That's a piece of the UI you literally can't remove. So when stuff is happening in the southern part of the map, it's literally just blocked by the game's unremovable UI. Another nuke firing off there as it goes up and up further into the screen. And, well, guesty has just about eliminated M.I.E.L, has just about eliminated Cloud9. They're both technically still in it, and a furious fight is happening still in the middle of the map. Photonics going at it toe-to-toe with kabs. Kabs switching from naval now to ground forces as it's just infinite medium tanks, and the MiGs coming back through the middle of the map. AnArChIsT, I don't know what that was. He just passed by that building, and nothing happened. I think maybe that's a... I don't know, is that a dead refinery? Is that another visual bug that has happened in this game? AnArChIsT and Photonics holding the line with their medium and their light tanks. Neutral pillboxes getting eliminated here, and there finally it does go down, whatever that was. Perhaps a visual glitch of it not displaying there. Lightsign still trying to find some kind of an angle at the same time. Kabs over here on the right side of the map. At least we can remove that bit of UI. Lightsign coming down the right side of the map. His tanks hunting this harvester. It looks like the Tesla coil going to get a couple of shots off, or just one shot, as the rocket infantry take their shots at those passing tanks. Kabs with a good foothold of tanks hanging out there. And, well, A refinery gets cleaned up. Peter Lucas losing a lot of his economy. They're trying to force Peter Lucas out. At the same time, AnArChIsT with a huge mass of infantry, a couple of flamers, a couple of rockets mixed in here, going to be able to shut that down. Or, oh no, I forgot they aren't flamers. They're actually Tesla troopers. They're shock troopers, as they might actually be called. At the same time, down the right side of the map, Cabs coming in here with more destroyers, wiping out that war factory, just completely gone. The V2s as well getting targeted down. Photonics unable to make any real headway in the north against the forces of Cabs, and Cabs fighting on two fronts, both out on the water and on the ground, as his gunboats take some massive shots at these heavy tanks. The heavy tanks starting to target them down, but they won't even get one kill before Cabs clears the way and eliminates everything there on the right edge of the map. Photonics going up against the Peter Lucas once again, this time here on the left side of the map. Medium tank versus heavy tank, as the numbers swing into the favor of Peter Lucas and then back into the favor of Photonics. Reinforcements crushing the last couple of tanks there for Peter Lucas. Lightsign pushing down into the south on the right side of the map, and Photonics is here to answer, defending his harvesters, defending AnArChIsT's harvesters as well. The infantry getting crushed. The V2s will be eliminated. The medium tanks, the pillbox, and the turrets emplacements will be able to hold off the forces of AnArChIsT. M.I.E.L and Cloud9 have been saved, but to what end? The left side of the map almost completely dominated by guesty and guesty alone, as he's trying desperately to finish off the forces in the south. Somehow Cloud9 making a naval comeback there, trying to build a couple of units and get some damage out onto the map, is going to be targeting the tanks of guesty. Photonics getting jumped on, and the tanks of guesty trying to kill the war factory, but not really having an opportunity to do that. MiGs coming through the middle of the map. What were they even targeting? I think they're instead going for the gunboats on the right side of the map. Harvesters getting targeted down, and the cash on the map just running out. 7 grand in the bank of guesty, 10 grand in the bank of Photonics, but everyone else starting to run out of cash, getting low on income with the small amount of ore left on the map and the small and the long drive of the ore trucks to get any ore back to the refineries. War factories getting eliminated. Meanwhile, in the north, Photonics starting to make some headway. His tanks getting split up. That may allow some additional kills by lightsign, as 2 war factories get targeted down, and it looks like Photonics is just going for the buildings, not even trading the tanks. Might be the best idea, just going for the buildings. Another nuke fires off, and someone somewhere gets eliminated. Photonics trying to target down the medium tanks of lightsign, and he's actually going to be able to overwhelm them. The reinforcements were never enough. Lightsign's forces in the south have been held off. Guesty's forces in the south have been held off. More and more ore trucks. The infinite number of ore trucks that seem to be built in the early part of the game now suddenly diminishing greatly. An engineer trying to sneak out to the south, but I think the multi-MCV mode, multi-engineer mode is turned on, so 1 engineer is not enough to capture a building unless it's in low health. Photonics turns to the south. It looks like AnArChIsT has found some kind of strength left, just these V2s being his only real option. Around the north side of the map, Cloud9 coming from behind once again. Gunboats and destroyers stepping forward to do some damage to cabs, and cabs out of cash. Has a group of tanks here on the right side of the map, but not enough money to build anything. He's trying desperately. I guess he could sell off some of these Tiberium silos, maybe even sell off some of these gap generators or defenses. It would get him something to try and build anything to stand up against the forces of Cloud9. Cloud9 doing so little in this game, but now coming back through with a big win in terms of killing off Cabs' buildings and shutting down this infrastructure. And actually, it's a para-drop, not a carpet bombing, as they can target down that war factory and cut guesty off from more production. Guesty with a ton of medium tanks, a good amount of infantry as well, jumping on war factory after war factory, completely gutting Photonics. Photonics responding with every tank he's got, being brought back from the north, trying to push guesty away and stop him from totally cutting off the production of Photonics. Photonics will stand tall for yet a moment longer, and he's been able to push Guesty back. At the same time, no one has done anything to stop Cloud9, who targets down another war factory. One war factory remains, although kabs doesn't have much money to produce anything quickly from those war factories, regardless of how many war factories he has. Not sure what those MiGs just took out, striking more infrastructure of our team in the north. Our team in the south becoming an incredibly tight pocket, difficult to stomp out, difficult for our team in the north, who at one point looked expansive and unstoppable, but they've been unable to crack the last bit of this map. They've been able to unable to open the last quadrant, and slowly but surely our team in the north taking bigger and bigger losses, but they are certainly not out of the game yet. Guesty has been completely fractured. Lightsign is now getting demolished, and he just doesn't have any forces to deal with it. Is somehow our team in the south going to be able to mount like a backstabbing victory with these gunboats from Cloud9? Even M.I.E.L is still in this, although not really doing much of anything for the last couple of minutes in this game. Those camo pillboxes still just shooting away, doing as much damage as they can, but of course not killing much of all, and also not being targeted by anything. Lightsign is about to lose an MCV here on the right side of the map. Kabs responding with tanks. There's the sell-off. A barracks is still here for Lightsign. Lightsign may still have an MCV somewhere else on the map. Actually, Lightsign. Ooh, oh my gosh, is that actually it for Lightsign? He may still have enough war factories around. Another nuke fires off. I'm not sure who or where that was. Photonics and Guesty, the last fight for domination in the south. Guesty has ran out of tanks. His reinforcements not always being routed over. Those extra 3 tanks may have made a difference, who knows, as more reinforcements show up for Photonics, but he's had dominating numbers for perhaps too long, trading out 1-to-1 with the tanks of Guesty. AnArChIsT shows up with some heavy tanks, with some V2s as well. At the same time, it looks like another squadron is gathering on the right side of the map. Guesty, a powerhouse on the left side of the map, and Lightsign is completely out. I think he was out of production facilities, and I think he had just basically nothing actually left. He had cash in the bank, but no real way to spend it. I guess his barracks must have been eliminated, and he had no more MCVs. Guesty's tanks falling, and you have to hand it to Cloud9, bringing some pain from a distance. That artillery out on the water, cutting off the back, or cutting down the back of our team in the north. Kabs almost did that with his own naval forces. I thought Kabs and Guesty, I thought were going to totally be able to kill in Cloud9 and M.I.E.L, but at the end of the day, Cloud9 actually managed a bit of a comeback, bringing some naval forces to play and actually putting some damage out on the field. Photonics tanks on the right side of the map, dominating the forces of Peter Lucas. Meanwhile, Photonics forces on the left side of the map about to dominate the forces of Peter Lucas and Guesty. Engineers getting crushed, tanks moving forward. They're going to be going for the MCV. Peter Lucas has almost nothing left. Our team in the north fighting well. Guesty has thrown in the towel. The GG gets called. Peter Lucas has as well. And Kabs never selling off those TIB silos. Instead, it is going to be a fight out with the tanks until the last tanks fall. Kabs will not throw in the towel. That will do it for this game, it looks like, as there's the fire sale. Everything must go for Kabs. And I guess he forgot something. Not sure what it is. Wait, did they have long game turned on? I don't think they did, but maybe they actually did, as it looks like Kabs has a couple of infantry left, and that will do it. So yeah, a couple of more glitched units here in the middle-ish of the map. That was an absolutely insane 4v4, just pure chaos. Not quite from the first moment, but you know, from the second or third minute, it felt like that was just pure chaos. These MiGs doing so much work. You have to give it to AnArChIsT for making a lot happen with those MiGs. I think he had 9 there earlier, but even just these 8 that you see there getting so much work done, and then ultimately everyone basically building an infinite number of ore trucks, so that even when ore truck after ore truck was getting eliminated in the middle of the game, people still had some kind of income, even though it was long-distance mining. That will do it for this 4v4. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert, signing out.